Welcome back, everyone. This is Akanar here with more Talos Principle 2, where last time we made our way here through the circular oasis, and we were very close to 100%ing another level, but the Pandora stars are starting to get tricky. I like what they're doing, introducing the complexity and intricacy with these Pandora stars, and I wasn't quite able to get this one. I was stumped on this one last time. However, as is often the case, I go to edit the footage later and realize things that I didn't, or notice things that I didn't. And one of those realizations was that we had a lost puzzle over on this side of the map that I completely forgot about. So I wanted to come explore off camera and see, do I have a vantage point of the Pandora monument from this puzzle? It turns out I don't. We're behind a sand dune and we don't have the elevation that we need in order to see the Pandora monument directly from this puzzle. However, as I was looking around inside here, I realized that I do have a vantage point of the tower. This blue receptor that we did activate last time, but I never figured out what it did. And I think that's because my mind was so focused on hearing a sound. So often when you activate a receiver, there's like a force field that deactivates, or there's something else that happens close to you that has a sound associated with it. And that's what I was focused on. My laser focus, tunnel vision brain was focused on listening and not looking. Because it turns out, when you activate this and you actually take a look, I totally did not see that appear. I totally did not even notice. And I think we could have seen it from the other puzzle. I think it's not like on the other side of the tower. It was totally something that I could see. Now, you know, it is far away. The sky is kind of bright, like, you know, for whatever reason, I didn't notice it. But it's because I was listening. That's why. Anyway, I can see it now. And the question is, there is something to connect to. I don't know exactly what this is, but I want to see, since we're here, let's go ahead and accumulate red. We need to get red to the Pandora monument. So what happens when we shoot red to this? What does that do? Okay, I don't exactly know yet what that's doing. Let me just make sure that there's no other connectors here. There's not a connector at the very top. The connector is here. So let's shoot red to that, and now let's go investigate. So we've elevated red. We've put red in a spot where it is much higher than it was before. Much higher than any other position in the entire level. But it's still not going to the Pandora monument, right? So how do we get the signal from here to the Pandora monument? We kind of need to re-examine or think about each of the puzzles that would potentially have line of sight, and now think about them in the context of this beam being a thing. So if we're back here at the monument and we look around, where potentially do we have line of sight? This is puzzle 3, and this is the closest puzzle, I think, to the monument, but there are no connectors inside of this. It's just boxes and a teleporter, if I recall correctly. Like, I am still making an assumption that what I need to do is relay, that I need to find a puzzle where I can relay this red over to the Pandora monument. That's quite an assumption, because maybe it's not that I need to find a puzzle, but maybe I need to find a piece of equipment. We did have, in the last level, we had an RGB converter that was out in the world. There was just a piece of equipment that was laying around, and it's possible that I have not thoroughly explored enough this area. It may be no more complicated than the fact that I just need to find a connector somewhere out in the desert. So something else I could do, which I haven't done yet, is using photo mode to actually go up to exactly where the red receiver is, right? Putting myself exactly at that height. Yeah, I can I can actually just clip directly into this. So I can put myself directly where the red receiver is. Is there a spot over in this puzzle that's just beyond the Sphinx that we need to look at? I mean, let's think about this. What effect is this antenna having here? We shoot blue. It raises this antenna. The antenna allows us to shoot a signal to it. It's got a connector on it. I'm assuming it's a connector. What do we do with that from here? Like, it doesn't really make sense to relay it to another puzzle, right? If we went to another puzzle and used a connector in that puzzle to bring red from there, I don't see how that would help us if we don't have line of sight from that puzzle to the Pandora monument. Which kind of brings me back to the possibility that there is a connector hiding somewhere in the world that I need to find. Wait, can I not see? No, there it is. Okay. Okay, so I can relay red. It does allow, it elevates red, and it allows me to grab red from there to this connector. Which could theoretically make sense if we're talking about a puzzle. If there was a puzzle somewhere that had line of sight to the Pandora monument, but did not naturally have a red emitter inside of it. Do we have that? There's something fundamentally that I'm missing here, or maybe I am just missing a piece of equipment. The question is, do I want to completely scour every square inch of this level again to try to find a connector that may or may not exist? Like, do I need to figure a way to get a connector out of a puzzle? Is that what we're doing here? Is this all about trying to get a connector out of a puzzle? Could I somehow do that with the teleporter? I have a teleporter in puzzle 3. I felt like the teleporters did not work from outside of their puzzles. I felt like I tried to do this one time when we were in the, oh my God. Oh my God. There's a connector in the corner here. There is a connector in the corner. I have been recording for almost a half an hour already because I have been wandering around thinking about looking for a connector in the outside world, thinking about getting connectors outside of puzzles and trying to teleport them over to puzzle 3, because puzzle 3 is the only one that makes sense in terms of being able to see the Pandora monument. My goodness, has it been just... There was literally a connector in this corner this entire goddamn time. Wow. I feel a little sheepish right now. I feel a little a little embarrassed that I did not notice this, sooner. My God. Well, there you go. There it is. The Pandora Star. I was racking my brain. I was in such serious overcomplication mode, or about to be in such serious overcomplication mode. It's a good thing, though, actually, because I started thinking about teleporting. I started thinking about, do I need to teleport a connector outside of another puzzle? And that's what brought me back to puzzle 3. My God. Crow team? Crow team? I love you guys. And I also hate you at the same time. We're putting up a goddamn useless connector in the corner by itself, except it's not useless at all. That is the Pandora Star for the Circular Oasis.
There is no tool that is not also a weapon, and no human that would not wield it as one.
Does that include that connector in puzzle 3? Can that also be used as a weapon? My goodness. The emotions that I'm having right now, the feelings, mainly of embarrassment at myself for not noticing that sooner. I have said that I wanted the stars to be more complicated, more complex, I'm not so sure if that is what I had in mind. Putting a connector that's not utilized by a puzzle itself, just putting a connector in the corner by itself to only be used for a Pandora star. Well, the scavenger hunt for the missing connector has finally been completed. So let's now turn our attention to returning to the VTOL and continuing the main mission here, heading back into the megastructure. It's going to take me a little bit to get over that Pandora star, but we got it. Always win your battles, always solve your puzzles and collect your stars, and then move on. Because my goodness, we have two very big things that are hanging over our story. The biggest one, of course, the revelation, the startling revelation last time about Miranda, supposedly, at least according to Athena and Cornelius, being dead. And that was very much a holy shit moment. And at the same time, this is not the first video game that I played. It's not the first story that I've been told. And I have my radar up for twists and turns that still remain.
You all know I don't share Byron's enthusiasm for the megastructure. I don't know if the founder really intended for us to be here, and I certainly don't trust this Prometheus entity. But Byron is one of us, and we don't leave people behind. So we're finding Prometheus and freeing him, whether Pandora likes it or not. Here's how this mission is going to go. 1K, it's clear to me that you have some kind of special affinity for this place, and that the entities respond to you more strongly than they do to us. So, once you're inside, I want you to take point.
Roger that.
Do whatever you need to free Prometheus, but remember that our prime objective is to save our friend. Melville, I want you to stay at the VTOL and let Yakut and 1K go in. I'm going to stay behind as protocol requires. I don't love the idea of sitting this one out. Byron is my oldest friend, but we're doing this by the book.
I like it. Alcatraz taking the lead. It's a good fit. It's a good look for you, Alcatraz. Taking the lead, dishing out the orders, and I am totally okay with this, especially if it involves us solving puzzles. Whoa! Well, all of a sudden, night is here. My goodness. Is there anybody out here howling at the moon? Whoa, okay. That is the most sudden transition to nighttime that I think that I've ever seen. Whoa, look at that. I don't think I had noticed this before. The green laser way over there coming from the mountains. We've got the three different sides of the megastructure lit up. It's very, very cool looking. But yeah, our mission lays in front of us. Head inside and do whatever it takes to free Prometheus.
All right, I'm taking us in. Let's hope we can find the big guy.
Alcatraz is staying back here at the base camp. So quickly traversing or progressing to nighttime. That's throwing me off a little bit here, but it also looks very cool. I love how the megastructure is lit up here like a Christmas tree. Here we go. Very nervous, but also excited to see what we find. That's a little odd. The music, it's just the music struggling to keep up, as opposed to all the sounds all together. Variety of audio glitches. We get, in addition to the variety of new puzzle tech that we get introduced to. Just waiting for a second to see if we get any new dialogue from either of you. No, it looks like we are heading in. It looks like the letter H here for some reason. Is that important? Probably not. Let's head in to the megastructure. Making our way in once again. This time, supposedly, theoretically, at least Byron will not be in our way in terms of solving puzzles. There will be no puzzle stealing from 1K, the puzzle solver this time. Hopefully. Question mark? What do we got here? Look at this. Oh my goodness. The evil eye ring light is watching. Boy, what is this making me think of? This shape. This really makes me think of something, but I can't quite place it at the moment. Where are we going, Yakut? You're going that way? Let me check over here. There is a palm reader, and just that, so let's get the palm reader here first. From Eustathius to Athena. Dearest Athena, I don't know if you will see this. You have become even more distant from the affairs of New Jerusalem than I have. Miss speaking to you and Cornelius, and I fear that some of your estrangement is my own fault. I know things are not as you had wished them to be, and the city is drifting away from that bold vision you established. This is not because of your leadership or a lack thereof. You did not fail. I did. I know I've said it before, but the New Alexandria disaster was my fault. I'm the one who took the initiative, and I'm the one who made the mistake. Yes, there should have been procedures in place, but it was my role to create such procedures, Athena, not yours. I wish I'd listened to Byron when he said we had to establish another settlement immediately. Learn from the pain. Don't let it fester. He was right. That's where the rot set in, and I'm sorry. With love, Eustathius. We've also got Athena, author. The Machines, from the author's notes to Athena Reborn, a novel, author anonymous. If my work has meant something to you, if Athena had any kind of impact on you, if some story in Wonder Tales from the periphery moved you or made you think, then there is something about myself that I need to share with you. It's the only autobiographical fact I have any interest in sharing, the only thing about me that matters to you outside my work. Every breath that I take, and so every story that I write, is only possible because of technology. There are no natural remedies, no spiritual alternatives for what I was born with. My existence is wholly contingent upon a level of technological sophistication which was heretofore unimaginable, and which will in many ways define the coming era. When you long for a return to simpler times, you wish for a world in which I could not exist. If you're looking for answers, consider the fact that I was granted the blessing of this technology despite being born into poverty, and my writing never having been particularly lucrative. The civilizational structures I live within were arranged in such a way that this technology would be deployed to save my life. And are these structures not also, at the end of a day, a kind of machine? What is the state? What is civilization, if not a machine? Think about what this means, what this is. Is it systematic compassion? Is it liberation from nature? Is it equality of opportunity? Whatever your belief system, think hard about what it means that I am alive because of these machines, and I have created something that matters to you. Thank you for reading. We've also got Clockwork, excerpted from Orthodoxy by G.K. Chesterton, once again. Okay, all the towering materialism which dominates the modern mind rests ultimately upon one assumption, a false assumption. It is supposed that if a thing goes on repeating itself, it is probably dead, a piece of clockwork. People feel that if the universe was personal, it would vary. If the sun were alive, it would dance. This is a fallacy, even in relation to known fact. For the variation in human affairs is generally brought into them, not by life, but by death, by the dying down or breaking off of their strength or desire. A man varies his movements because of some slight element of failure or fatigue. But perhaps God is strong enough to exult in monotony. It is possible that God says every morning, do it again to the sun, and every evening, do it again to the moon. It may not be automatic necessity that makes all daisies alike. It may be that God makes every daisy separately, but has never got tired of making them. It may be that he has the eternal appetite of infancy, for we have sinned and grown old, and our Father is younger than we. Miranda, it's strange. The idea is delightful, but it's also completely and obviously untrue. Cornelius, that's one of many reasons Chesterton is worth reading. He's wrong about a lot of things, but he's wrong about them in an interesting way. Miranda, it's such a shame though. He seems to want to restore the magic of the world, but he can only re-enchant the surface. Whereas the true magic, the perfect beauty that feels like revelation, is found underneath in what he dismisses as clockwork. And lastly, we've got Founding 10, once again from Hypatia's Journals, day 680, New Jerusalem. That's the name we picked. I'm sad that my suggestion didn't win, maybe a little, but it is a good name, a fitting name, a name that we can be proud of. With it comes a new kind of optimism. Everyone is thinking of the future once more. I, for one, am glad that we have recovered our equilibrium and our determination. Athena and Cornelius are certainly bustling with plans and bright visions of the future, and when they tell us of these dreams of theirs, it's hard not to be drawn in by the pretty pictures they paint. Speaking of which, I'm becoming more and more fascinated with ancient human art, and thinking about our own role in taking the next step in that long history. Citizens of Gehenna found meaning in art, and they were imprisoned. A free people should be able to accomplish so much more. Another set of interesting readings. I'm most curious about this author Anonymous. we've been seeing some of these like failed to load profiles in the comments, and I've maybe speculated that, or was thinking that Eustathius might be one of those, but we also see a message here directly from Eustathius, so I'm not sure if this anonymous is important, but it does feel like this is something or somebody who was writing about the Athena that we know, the founder, as opposed to, you know, the Athena from Greek mythology. I also like the bit from the G.K. Chesterton piece here, this idea that it's worth reading somebody even if they are wrong, if they're wrong in an interesting way. Provoking thought. Okay, let's keep exploring here. I think, yeah, Yakut is waiting for us there. Was there anything this way? Oh, there are more floating cubes. How the heck do these work? Once again, making me think of the Borg, right? The Borg cubes in here. And maybe this is the way we have to go. Let's actually check back with Yakut, because I think maybe it's like before where Yakut was checking out the elevator that wasn't working. Like, this is a place that we can't actually get in, right? So Yakut is just hanging out. He's gonna head down that elevator when time is right. For us, it's time for us to head forward in this direction. Here's another shape, kind of like a, it makes me think of an eye, but it reminds me of something from some game. What am I can't place it. I hope it comes to me. Let's ride the elevator though.
Yay! I found another elevator.
I know you
My
did.
favorite.
Everybody loves elevators, don't they? At least ones that don't break on them or get them trapped. This looks like a huge conductor of some sort.
Once
Have a
again,
feeling.
I have no idea where I am. No sign of Prometheus so far. Hope you're doing better, 1K.
No sign of Prometheus from my end either. I have a feeling I'm in a huge electrical generator chamber. That's what these coils... Feels like we're going to be releasing a massive amount of energy here at some point. For now, I'm just taking the next ride. Keep on following the path.
Before, but look at the size of this. How can all of this be one machine?
Look at that.
This is what you get when one machine builds a bigger machine, which builds an even bigger machine.
But where does it end?
The sights in this game are kind of just remarkable. That's such an understatement. I'm sitting here trying to think of the word as I'm going into each of these new rooms. I get this sense that every one of these is just going to be lit up with electricity. Some sort of massive power generation is going to be taking place here. But man, is it still cool to look at. We can't jump out, can we? Oh my god, we can. Uh-oh. I think I've screwed myself. It's not going to let me jump back in, is it? Well, we'll just cut that part out. Pay no attention to me. Whoa, look at this place. I've never seen this before. This place is amazing. I totally didn't just die. Down, down, down we go. Way down we go. Man, we are going so far down. Jesus. There he is. There he is. We found it. We found it. It was previewing this moment this whole time. The layout looks a little bit different. It's a little bit of a different layout here, maybe. Maybe not.
Be careful, 1K. We don't know what's down there.
There is one thing I kind of know is here. Are you all looking at this? Am I streaming? Hello? There is a giant statue of Prometheus here, made out of who the hell knows what, probably particle clouds. So what do we have? Looks like a generator and a switch. Okay. C lever, pull lever, right? Ask no questions. Aha, remove Prometheus chains. Oh boy. Is it actually removing the chains? What did it do? Oh, does it, wait, I can pull it again. So it did try to remove the chains, but the chain is still being held in place. So it's like trying to break the chain, but it can't because we need to pull the other levers first. How does this place work? I see all these little icons on my map. Remove Prometheus chain pins. Alrighty. I guess maybe we got to do some other work before we come back here. Maybe this is the final step in whatever we're supposed to do. So first, this is crazy though. I'm surprised you haven't like tried to speak to us yet. We haven't seen any of the projections. Pandora in particular. How is she going to try to stand in our way? I wonder. But we'll start by heading in this direction. Let's solve a Tetramino bridge. See if we can get in and figure out more of what's going on here. This is getting pretty crazy. I like it. Might have to start this one over. This thing is massive though. This thing is it is just as it was shown in the picture. I think that's very cool. Because at first, I really would have guessed that this is just like this conceptual thing. It's just like a piece of concept art or something that's like, this is the concept that we're putting in the game. No, it's an actual location, an actual event that happens in the game. I guess I should have known that, but I don't know. For whatever reason, it didn't strike me that way when I first saw it. How are we starting this puzzle, though? How are we solving this one? Like this? There we go. All right. So now, do we actually have some puzzles to solve? Let's see if we can find some actual puzzles here. Another bridge, and we are bringing verticality back into the mix, I think. Why is this one lit up green? I see on my outline there, or my the 4 shapes that I've got listed up in the top left. One of them, this one here, is green. Why is that the case? Is that because that's the only one I can use? This one looks like I could use it. Why is this one green? Is it because it goes up and down? Are the rest of these... That might be it. Maybe I... No, but this one goes up. I don't know why that one is green. I'll have to think about that one. There is anti-gravity flooring here. Okay. Anti-gravity flooring has been found. So how are we interacting with that? Can I jump to it from here? Doesn't look like it. Does the... Wait. This does not... Oh, maybe that's what green is. Maybe the green acts like anti-gravity flooring. That's why it's green. You can actually walk on this one like you would a gravity surface. Okay. Got it. So we want probably to take this one and put the green in its place so that we can actually walk up to the gravity surface. I get it. Okay, that's cool. That's cool. I don't know if we had seen that before. Now, where are we trying to get to? It can be so disorienting trying to figure out how to do this whole thing. Do I even need to use this gravity surface here? Or am I just building straight to that? Okay. Why was this thing here? Did I need this? Maybe I did. Oh, I did, because I had to walk on the surface first and then walk to here. That's all it was there for, was just to allow me to kind of change sides. Change which side I was walking on of the Tetramino. Got it. This is really cool. I wish they would do this with every Tetramino bridge. It's so much more interesting when you have this verticality involved and you get to kind of build in 3 dimensions. Yes, it's a little disorienting, but it's ultimately far more fun to do. Now, it's going to be interesting to see if we actually get to puzzles besides the Tetramino bridges. Why is this one... Well, that's weird. This one is like built out as a 4-bar already. It's not, it doesn't just have like a connection at the end of the puzzle. It's going to like automatically fill in this 4-bar when we get there. That's kind of different. So I guess we have to just do this piece instead. Okay. See, that's how most of the bridges have been. You just like plop, maybe you just have to switch one piece for another, but otherwise you're just basically going with the flow. There's not a lot of thought that you have to give to it. Okay, so I see we are releasing the pins. Got it. So that's that switch at the very beginning. There goes one set of chains. Cool. So we do that with all 5 of these pins, and then I think we go back to the lever, and we pull that lever, and we should be able to break the chains fully. Okay, so there may not be any... It looks like there may not be any puzzles, laser beam puzzles. I don't know what the term for the normal puzzles would be. This area feels like it might be all Tetromino bridges. So let's just keep going. Let's find our way to the next bridge here, and we've got all these icons on our map to kind of guide us. Here's another... No, this is where we entered. So is there another bridge down here, I guess? Let's go this way. Haven't seen Yakut anywhere yet. Hopefully he's not stuck in an elevator. Here is our next Tetromino bridge. Here we go. This one also feels very simple. There's only 2 pieces. Only 2 pieces, so there's only so many ways that you could set this up. Why? Why is that even a bridge? Why do you even make the player do that? Just so you could say, oh, we had a Tetromino bridge there. That was a puzzle for you to solve. This one also feels pretty straightforward. Like, I suppose there could be worse things, worse ways to do, less interesting ways to do puzzles, but it just... Why not make the rest of them like that first one that we did, where you're like switching levels and you're working in 3 dimensions? There's just, what is the point to these? I don't know. This is just one of the weaker parts of the game to me that, I said, I think at the beginning that I didn't really, the Tetromino puzzles from the first game, they were definitely a lot more challenging. I just didn't feel like I ever got to a point where I was actually logically breaking those down, as opposed to just kind of guessing, doing a bunch of guesswork, trial and error, and eventually getting to the right solution. At this point, I almost want those back compared to the Tetromino bridges, because so many of the Tetromino bridges are just completely uninspired. One more set of chains, though, delinked. What exactly is going to happen when we finally unlink all of this? Is this puzzle going to come? Is this statue going to come to life? Will this thing dematerialize into a particle cloud? The purple Prometheus particle cloud that we've seen? This place is confusing as hell. Which way do I go? I'm back where I just was. Okay, how the hell do I get out of here? I need to head in that direction. Okay, let's try this again. What? Oh my god, how do I get out of here? Oh, it's back down here. Jesus Christ. I needed to go down. Down and out. Got it. What's going on with this? What is going on with these guys? They've got the ring lights here. Maybe they had the ring lights the whole time and they just weren't lit up yet. What the hell? Okay, I think I finally figured out how to get back to the central platform. So from here, there should be another bridge leading to another section. Okay. Another super interesting and super fun Tetromino bridge. Let's switch this one out for this guy. No, that's not it either. That's not it either. Okay, so at least this one is making you put in some different moves here. This one is not 100% straightforward. This way? There we go. Okay, all right, all right. I see an anti-grav elevator there. Curious to check out that side. We'll get there eventually. Now this one looks like it's gonna have some verticality in it, so hopefully this one a little more interesting. I see already there is actually a green square. A green square piece, which we probably want to wait until we are on that side. That's probably the last piece. Maybe. This first piece here, we probably don't want to make it vertical. If we make, let's see, if we change this to the cube, let's say, apparently that causes it to, all right, I'm thinking a couple different things here. Wait, could I just fall? If I fall down there, how does gravity work if I do this? It's not gonna, okay. I can't just fall in that direction because the natural gravity, the natural gravity, of course, is this way. So that doesn't, I can't like cheat the system by, just because I put a gravity piece in place. All right, let's think about how we want to, I think we want to use one of these. And then we use this. And then we use this. And then we finish with this guy. And now we get lined up with this. Cool. That actually is a good one. Why not make all the bridges like that? Just make them all some sort of vertical bridge. It's not it feels like it shouldn't be a tough task. Now, I'm not a game designer. I'm not the one sitting here designing puzzles. So what the hell do I know? All I know is what is interesting from my own little perspective as a player. And I think those bridges are pretty cool. I still want to know why the hell there are floating cubes everywhere. Oh, okay. This is where we want to go. I thought I was going backwards because the platform went down. But this is actually progress. So let's see, now we're on a wall and we're building a bridge on a wall. I think this is cool. I like this. It feels like we can only, no, we could have started with one of these others. We could have started with, maybe we do have to start with this one. Not sure. Let's think about this. There we go. Okay, yeah, we are just walking up the wall. Cool, cool, cool. And then that gets us here to this level. Sweet. I like these. Here's this motif that we keep seeing. Is it supposed to be kind of a play on, is it Michelangelo? The guy who painted the Sistine Chapel, right? That's got, it's not quite the same as God reaching out to man with like the fingers touching, but it feels reminiscent of that. Is that what's supposed to be going on here? Ooh, I like that perspective here with the double set of chains that were free. Look at this. Hello? There we go. Gotta be right next to it. Very particular. Break those chains. One step closer. I swear the visuals in this game, they really have put an incredible amount of work into creating a really, really cool atmosphere. The atmosphere, it's very impressive. And I find myself saying that in almost every single area. All right, I think I am finding my way back to the central platform here. Making my way back. And then there should be 2 more pins on this other side. Let's see if I can just throw everything down, every single piece. Almost. I just needed the 1 rotation there. So you have like these bridges that are really interesting, that are a fun challenge and have a good amount of variety to them, and then you have those. Looks like we have a pin over here. Let's go this way first. This one we might have to do a little bit of work. Looks like we do have to start with something different. Let's take this one. Try this guy. This guy. What the hell is going on here? Whoa. There is a drone. That must be Yakut's drone. I literally thought there were bees buzzing around, but I forgot that Yakut has a drone that he can just maneuver around. We haven't seen it in a while. That was a little offsetting, a little unsettling there for just a moment. Here you are, Yakut. You're flying that drone around. You need to give me a little bit of a heads up there, my dude. Did he just put the, yeah, hi, I see you. I think he put the drone in his.
I think you can get up here, 1K. Guess I'll have to do a puzzle after all.
No.
It can't
What?
be that hard, right? It's not like everyone is depending on me.
Well, I was gonna be all upset about the fact that apparently this is the theme now when we go into the megastructure, that one of our team members is going to help us out. Byron helped us out, aka stole one of our puzzles the first time around.
This has to connect over here. Then, wait. If I do this and then that, what?
In this case, I am not quite as upset because these are just tetromino bridges.
Wow, I feel really smart. Also, never doing that again.
Wow, it was just a tetromino bridge, Yakut. Don't get too excited now. So yeah, in this case, not as upsetting. I will not be losing sleep over Yakut getting to do a probably boring and uninteresting tetromino bridge. So that just leaves the one final pin here. We need to find our way over. Whoa, this one is way over here. Oh, here is the tetromino bridge. Okay, I need to figure out how to get down there. How do we get there? Go around. Oh, this is where we need to drop down. I think I had seen that there were some stairs leading down in this direction. So we need to go down a fair ways. Yeah, I'm definitely not... I'm definitely going to be A-okay with Yakut getting to... especially, he was so excited. He was so excited over a simple tetromino bridge. Here we go. Gravity surface time. Let's get over here to the last pin. So we are upside down now, aren't we? See, I like this stuff. This, just, why not make every single bridge like this? Every single bridge, make it anti-grav. I don't see what's wrong with that. Let's do this one. It feels like we need to build a little bit this way, give ourselves some space. These are both identical, aren't they? Okay. So now... I think I actually want to do this one. We're too far away. Okay, so I built in the wrong direction. It felt like I needed to kind of waste some time, quote unquote, by going to the left. But I think we actually want to go this way, question mark? Yeah, because this one is actually a lot further away than it seems at first. There we go. And then here is our anti-grav elevator that we saw before. Cool, cool, cool. Look around just a little bit here. That it doesn't, you know, I have a feeling there's not going to be a random connector just sitting over on one of the corners of the map in the megastructure, like we had for the Pandora Star to start out the day. But I still like to do a little bit of exploring here and there. Okay, we are about to unlock the final pin. Let's go ahead and take care of that. And now we need to release Prometheus by pulling on that lever at the start. What is going to happen? Are we going to get Byron free? Something tells me there's going to be a little bit more work to do. It's not going to be quite that simple. But let's go and find out, shall we? Time to release Prometheus. The long-awaited moment, perhaps from the moment we started the game, and getting to see the Prometheus chained title screen. We didn't know it was Prometheus at the time, but that moment is finally here. What the hell is going to happen? Ugh. Cutscene time. Oh boy. Yo! There we go. There's the purple Prometheus I know. Haha!
I thank you, Son of Man, for breaking my chains. Too
No worries.
long has the flame been hidden by fear and mystery. It is time to put away these childish things and for you to know the truth
All right.
The Alpha and the Omega, of the beginning and the end. I will send you visions of the truth. But
Data streams?
remember that prophecies are a heavy burden.
Dang, here we go. Learning the truth. Free Prometheus from his chains. Prometheus Unbound.
New Jerusalem sounds like such a beautiful place. So, how did you decide to leave? I know what we're trying to accomplish here, and I believe in it. But for you, New Jerusalem was home. What changed that?
It took me a long time to realize that something was wrong. Oh, I'd noticed that something was off, that something had changed since the early days, but I couldn't really put my finger on it. So I ignored it. And then one day I woke up to realize I was no longer Athena. Instead, I had been transformed into the Founder, a remote figure of legend, mythologized in my own time.
But if it bothered you, couldn't you just talk to them? If you share the truth with someone, they should change their mind, shouldn't they?
Oh, I wished
Oh,
it
if
weren't that
only
way,
it were
Miranda.
that
I
easy.
really do, but I barely knew the last generations. In the beginning, I was there for every birth. I explained our history, talked about our future, but at some point, I got so busy building that future that I lost touch. They thought of me as a remote figure because that's what I was.
But can you change that?
I tried, but they already saw me as the Founder. The myth was too powerful, and it was already taking on a life of its own. I'd set a goal of 1,000 citizens. The number was arbitrary, just a nice round number, nothing more. But just like I became the Founder, it became the goal, another part of the myth. And maybe that could have been all right. Myths are a part of who we are, but something else crept in. The old human self-hatred.
So why didn't you just tell them to change? To go a different way? They would have listened to you.
No, they would have obeyed me, like my siblings in the simulation had obeyed. And that's when I realized I had to leave.
We can show them the future, Miranda, but we can't force them to accept it.
There you go. Athena was not a fan of the deification. She was not a fan of this mythologizing. Here we go, there's more.
I have it. After all this time, I have it. I finally have it.
Oh my
The
god.
mechanics of the cosmos.
Whoa,
From quarks to galactic
dude.
filaments. Everything that makes the world what it is, makes us who we are, in a single equation.
Holy shit, that looks
Key
amazing.
to understanding the machine that is the universe, and to controlling it. A theory of everything. And she was right. The language of creation is a melody, and it's beautiful. Every future is possible now. Every future, except one with Miranda in it. I can do anything, except bring her back. Or unbreak Cornelius's heart.
Aww. Act 4, Gates of Horn and Ivory.
Byron was right. The Founder was always a fiction. She's just a person who lost her way.
A theory of everything. She solved it. She solved the last puzzle.
You need to get out of there. We'll talk about this later.
The theory of everything. I definitely want to take a moment to digest everything. When I do get a moment to look at my log here, one of the things I want to check.
If the goal is a myth, and Athena never intended for us to stop growing, but everything here went wrong and Miranda died, then what's the point of all of this? Why the puzzles, the towers, the entities? What are we being tested for? Does she want us to prove we're worthy of the theory of everything? Or to learn from her mistakes and reject it? I don't understand.
I'm kind of with you, Yakut. There's a lot of that's so much to take in, and so much that's difficult to understand. As with basically the entire game, there's big ideas everywhere. Big ideas. That was so cool looking, though. The giant sun, the mechanics of the cosmos, everything that makes the world what it is in a single equation. I really don't know that I understand that. Like, this is just such a massive idea. Like, what does that even mean? A theory of everything? I guess, I don't know. I don't know what to make of it all. Like, I want to have some, like, deep, thoughtful insight on all of this, but it's one of these things that it just feels like they're seeing something that I'm not, right? The language of creation is a melody, and it's beautiful. Every future is possible now, except one with Miranda in it. Why is it that you can do anything except bring her back? Why is that out of the realm of possibility? The other big question I still have is, why is Athena different? Why is her robot model different than everybody else's? I don't think I've seen anybody else besides her that has the original OG Talos 1 model. Everybody else has the updated model. Why is that the case? Are they ever going to acknowledge that fact? I like that we did finally get an answer to the goal of 1,000 citizens. The number was arbitrary, just a nice round number, nothing more. No, they would have obeyed me like my siblings in the simulation had obeyed. And that's when I realized I had to leave. My siblings in the simulation. I'm not sure I had thought of or realized that that's how she thought of things. Like, she's talking about all those different personalities. The people that were trapped in Gehenna, is that who she's talking about? I thought those had been just different parts of her personality when she finally escaped the simulation. There is so much to take in here. My poor little 1K sized brain.
Anti-gravity, matter synthesis.
Can you explain it to me, Melville?
Teleportation. It's not just one new technology. It's control over physics.
Okay.
Manipulating the base layer of reality itself. Rearranging the building blocks of the universe. If we can gain control of the megastructure, we can do anything we want. I'm not even talking about our energy problem. We can build anything we want. We can go anywhere we want. It's all up to us.
Unless we fail. Unless we make a mistake like Miranda and we lose everything.
So we have this ability to become gods or damn ourselves into non-existence. That's basically what we're talking about here. We're talking about omnipotence, right? The power to literally do anything, which is completely outside of my ability to think about or even dream about. I mean, it's something you dream about, but it's a lot like when you're a kid, you kind of dream about having superpowers and things like that. But this completely breaks every fundamental thought you have about the universe. But we are playing a game. We're playing a video game after all, and crazy shit's gonna happen. I guess we're ready to get back aboard the VTOL though. Nothing else to do but keep this train rolling.
Is everyone okay?
All good. I'm taking us back now.
I think we're all good.
That's a relief. Meanwhile,
My
there's
brain's a
been
little broken.
Development. You'll see when you land. How are things on your end?
The energy fluctuations seem to be dying down. Looks like the system is coming out of lockdown.
Good. Let's hope we don't regret this.
Now, we did not bring Byron back.
And these energy clouds just fly about? That seems terribly dangerous.
Oh, Herman has showed up.
We haven't had any problems so far.
Except for losing one of the first companions, of course. No, I don't blame you, Al. I know what he's like. And I'm the one who agreed to all this in the first place. That's why I had to see it for myself. It is dreadfully imposing, though, isn't it? Hard to believe the founder would build something so sinister.
The mayor's here?
Well, this should be interesting.
Oh, I was gonna say, where is the mayor? I was looking here at the his VTOL. I'm not seeing anybody, but it looks like he's over here with Alcatraz. I was in the middle of saying that we did not free Byron. So freeing Prometheus did get us a lot more to the story, and especially Athena and her motivation. Hi there, Melville. But we have not yet freed Byron. So we've got some other steps to do. It wasn't as simple as free Prometheus, free Byron. Let's talk to Herman. He looks like he's brought a little coalition along with him.
1K, welcome back. I'm sure you're surprised by my presence here.
A little bit.
Don't worry, neither I nor my advisors will be getting in your way. But I've decided that I need to see this place for myself. These visions sent to you by the entity that calls itself Prometheus are deeply concerning, of course. But we cannot take them at face value. In fact, it's crucial that we do not do so. We cannot simply abandon all that we believe because of a dream, no matter how vivid.
I like these answers here because, yeah, I don't exactly know how to... Realistically, I don't know how to fully process what I've seen, and I also don't know how, like, if the dream is true, and there is literally the power of the universe that we are unlocking here with the megastructure, how does anything that we've been doing with the goal and New Jerusalem, like all of our puny little robot shit just feels like so tiny in comparison to whatever the scope of this thing is that we're uncovering here. So it probably doesn't matter how we respond to this. Let's go with this one.
No. If the founder really built all this, then it must have a purpose. It must be a test, designed to remind us of the trials that created us. But what is she trying to tell us? What are we being tested for? I believe that Byron's fate shows us the dangers of temptation. As Elohim attempted to deceive Athena in the simulation, commanding her not to ascend, so Prometheus is deceiving us with his visions.
Okay, that's an interesting theory. I think we had speculated the idea, thought a little bit about the idea that Prometheus and Pandora and the Sphinx are sort of similar to Elohim and Milton, the serpent. These competing forces or supposedly opposing forces that are kind of drawing you in different directions, trying to get you to challenge your own thoughts as well as, or your own conceptions about the world, as well as whatever they are telling you, however they are proposing that you think about the world. I think I am going to reserve judgment for now. My usual, like, let's wait and see. Let's try to gather as much information before I commit to one interpretation or another.
That's only reasonable, but I would ask you to think about what I said. After all, can it really be a coincidence that you came along on this mission? It seems to me that you have been chosen. You are the fulfillment of the goal. Don't forget that.
Except that Athena just basically admitted that the number 1000 was completely arbitrary. And so I'm really not that special, am I? What I ultimately wish I could do was figure out where this loud ass cricket is in this area and shut it the hell up. In fact, for the sake of my own sanity, I think I actually do have control over this, right? Ambience volume, isn't this what this has got to be it, right? Oh, sweet release. That goddamn cricket, I swear, was driving me nuts. Alrighty, that is where we are going to wrap up this installment of the Talos Principle 2. There is so much to think about in this game. It is a little, maybe a little, more than a little overwhelming sometimes to really, you need so much time, at least I do, in order to digest and fully absorb the ideas that they're trying to get you to think about here. Just challenging the notion that the universe is not just chaos and thinking that it is this machine that has some semblance of order to it. That in and of itself is like an internal bias of mine that is so hard to overcome. So thinking about all this stuff and trying to make sense of what's going on with all these different characters, but the megastructure in particular and having this almost godlike power over the universe. Crazy to think about, and we'll see how it all proceeds. I was glad to at least get the Pandora Star. We got that one solved. It feels good to be 100% on all of the levels so far, and we have just 3 left. We are coming down the home stretch here as we enter part 4. It's really cool here. I'm looking and seeing how, look at 1K's deep blue eyes out here in the moonlight. This is really just a cool setting. I like this. So we will be looking forward to those next areas in the west and seeing, are we going to continue the trend? Having a brand new puzzle mechanic in every single area? We will, I guess, find that out next time. Thank you all very much for joining me, and I hope to see you in the next one.